Section 6.3 is on solving multi-step inequalities. Again, this is similar to Chapter 3, where you have 3x minus 7 is less than 8. I would expect that you're adding 7 to both sides, so that you have 3x is less than 15. And then divide by 3 on both sides, so you have x is less than 5. Put a box around that answer, please, and then please graph. You have 5 and 6. That's a funny looking 5 there. Let's try that again. 6 and 4. We will have an open circle on 5 with an arrow to the left. I don't need any more on the number line than one number to the left and one number to the right. So you should look like this when you get all said and done. So that you're adding 7 to both sides, dividing by 3 on both sides, so that you have x is less than 5. When we have a fraction with a set of parentheses, you can distribute that fraction inside the parentheses, or you can multiply by the reciprocal on both sides. So I can make that negative 1/4 times p plus 3 greater than negative 2. And now I have a two-step problem that I need to solve. Negative 1/4 p is greater than negative 5, and p is something than 20. Remember that when we multiply by a negative on both sides, we need to flip our inequality symbol. Now we should have the same answer here as if I would take p minus 12 multiplied by that negative 1/4 and multiplied by the reciprocal on both sides. And multiplying by that reciprocal on both sides will cause us to have p minus 12. Now we flip our inequality symbol and have 8, and I add 12 to both sides, and we still have p is less than 20. Both ways are great to do. It depends on what works best for the problem. So you then have your open circle on 20 with an arrow to the left, please. On this next one, you have variables on both sides of the inequality symbol. It does not matter whether you take all your x's to the left and your constants to the right, or vice versa. I generally take my x's first, so that I am subtracting 6x on both sides and have 3x plus 6 less than or equal to 21, and then I can subtract the 6 on both sides and have 3x is less than or equal to 15, and finally divide by 3 on both sides, so we have x is less than or equal to 5. When we graph that, that will look with a closed circle, arrow to the left. If you would start working on this one on your right-hand side, 14x plus 5 less than 7 times 2x minus 3, do your distributive property on the right-hand side. So it will have 14x plus 5 is less than, and then you should have 14x minus 21. If I start moving my variables first, I subtract 14x on both sides, and that means that my variables drop out. And I have 5 is less than a negative 21. Is that a true or is that a false statement? That's what your brain should be thinking. Well, 5 is less than a negative 21. That's a false statement. So we are going to say there is no solution to this problem. Your box goes around no solution, please. False statement. Answer is no solution. How about if we have 12x minus 1 is greater than 6 times the quantity 2x minus 1? Well, again, use your distributive property on the right-hand side to get 12x minus 6 on the right. And if we subtract 12x on both sides, again, our variables drop out. But this time we have negative 1 is greater than negative 6. Is that a true or a false statement? -1 is greater than -6. That's a true statement. Then we're going to write a capital R. That stands for all real numbers, please. All real numbers. Please don't write ARN. That is not an appropriate abbreviation. Capital R for the words all real numbers. Put a box around that R. Capital R, it's a true statement. Okay, why don't you do this one for a moment? We got 5m plus 5, or excuse me, 5 times the quantity, m plus 5, less than 5m plus 17. And if the sub wants to stop it for just a second, let you guys work on this one. That would be great. Then we're going to have 5m plus 25 less than 5m plus 17. And when we subtract 5m on both sides, we get 25 is less than 17. True or false? Should have said false, I hope. Therefore, what kind of an answer do we give? No solution. Okay, no sol I'll take, but please don't write just NS. I don't want that abbreviation, NS. No sol or no solution. And one more here. If the sub would stop it for just a moment, make you do your work, please. So we got 1 minus 8x less than or equal to negative 8x plus 4. When we add 8x to both sides, we get 1 is less than or equal to 4. True or false? True statement. So we're going to have capital R for our answer. All real numbers will make that a true statement. We have a gas station charging 10 cents less per gallon of gasoline if a customer also gets a car wash. What are the possible amounts in gallon of gasoline that you can buy if you also get a car wash and can spend at most $20? Gasoline costs $2.09 per gallon, and your car wash is $8. And remember, you spend at most $20. I want the sub to stop the video for just a moment. Have you talked to your partner? Come up with an inequality statement that we can use to solve. Okay, we're going to come back here at most $20. So that means I am less than or equal to $20. I can spend 20, but I don't want to go over 20. I know that I have a car wash, so that's $8 that I have to pay for. And the gas costs $2.09 per gallon, so $2.09 times the number of gallons, but it's 10 cents less per gallon. So I need to look at this as $2.09 minus that 10 cents times the number of gallons that I'm buying. So $2.09 minus 10 cents times the number of gallons. So we're really looking at $1.99 times the number of gallons plus 8 less than 20. I'm sure all of you could now solve that using your calculator. Go ahead and do so. And I'm going to go to the next slide here. Next slide has the gallons being less than or equal to 6.03 gallons. It's rounded to the hundredths. Think about when you go to the gas station with your parents, or maybe you fill the car yourself. It goes out to the hundredths, maybe the thousandth on some gas stations. But we're going to say 6.03 gallons, rounded to the hundredths here. I have a bunch of problems on the board, and what I would like is for the sub to stop the video for just a moment. I want you to get with your partner. I want you to work on the problems that I have up here, and the next slide will have the answers to all of these. So we'll give you some time to do these, working on some problems where we have to simplify inequalities, and also from English into mathematics. So please stop the video. Okay, we're back in and we're going to look at the answers now. Here are all the answers. Talk to each other, help each other out on these. Sub, if you would stop the video so that they can correct their answers, please. We are going to go on to some more problems, and those problems look like these, where you have a few story problems and some geometry problems to do. If the sub would stop the video, please, and have you work on these with your partner. And we're back in, and here are going to be the answers to all of these problems. Notice that on number 37, I don't want at most 11 songs like the author gives. I want that as an inequality. X is less than or equal to 11 songs. Same thing with number 38. I don't want at least 6 ornaments. I want X is greater than or equal to 6 ornaments. And you should have an inequality that you have written to solve both 37 and 38. We're going to go on to a few more problems. No, we're not. We're done. Have a great time working on your homework. Thank you.